Welcome to the US 401 Corridor Study. This short video will provide an overview of the study's process and goals. In March and April of 2021, the first round of public engagement will be conducted. The following overview was part of a public meeting presentation, and your speaker is Mike Sarasky, Project Manager for WSP, the consultant lead for the study, on behalf of the Capital Area Metropolitan Planning Organization. Here's Mike.
Yes, so we're looking at existing US 401 that goes through the town of Fuquay-Varina. It will go into the segment that we're looking at is going into Harnett County and will end at the intersection of NC 210 and US 421 near the town of Lillington. Another part of this is we are going to be looking at the proposed US 401 bypass around Fuquay-Varina. Right now it's scheduled to be around 7 miles, and this is on the current transportation plan for Campo. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So the overview of the study itself, and Kenneth went into this a little bit in the introduction, but what we're looking at here is we're looking at planning and design of the corridors, all three corridors, and the thing about these three corridors is they're distinct corridors, and I'm going to go through them in a minute and talk a little bit more about each corridor. We want to really develop that vision for the corridor. We want to hear from you what you think about the corridor, what you want to see for a future of the corridor. What do we all want it to be into the future? Look at short and long-term solutions. We know that something like the bypass may be a long-term solution, but we also want to look at short-term solutions. Safety is a big concern. We want to make sure we do any safety improvements as part of this, or kind of recognize what those safety improvements need to be. And then at the end of the day, we want to have what we like to call implementable projects. We want something to be realistic. We want something that people can hold on to and say, yes, this is a project that is going to happen. This is a project that can happen. And we want to make sure that these are realistic and that can be done in the near future or into the future. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. So I'm going to go through the schedule of this study real quick. We are currently in phase 1, which is the existing conditions analysis. We have reviewed the existing plans and the previous plans that have been done in the area. We've done an environmental and transportation analysis, which you'll see later. We actually go through those slides later in this presentation about those analysis that we did. And then this is the first public engagement. We really appreciate all of you being here tonight. And we definitely appreciate those people that have already taken their time to go onto the website, look at the website, do a survey. Very encouraged right now about the amount of surveys we've received so far. So that's a great thing. The next thing we'll go into is developing solutions. We'll do a technical analysis of the corridor, develop some alternatives for the segments, and again, at the end of that, be seeking input on those concepts as part of a public engagement process. Phase 3 will be developing preferred alternatives for each of these corridors. We'll be looking at recommendations, a prioritization, which means that we're going to actually put in order what we want to see happen in over time, and then again come back to the public again to review those recommendations. And then phase 4 will be adoption of the plan, and all of this will be done in the next about, we had about an 18-month schedule, so the plan for this is to complete this by June of next year. Next slide, please. And so we went over a little bit of this already with kind of what the study is all about, but we always want to set goals. I'm a huge goal setter. We always want to set goals for ourselves when we do things like this. And so the study goals, comes out of previous projects, previous studies, and just having conversations. Number 1 is reducing congestion and increasing capacity and safety. Safety is always a big concern, and we want to make sure we take care of safety. We want to encourage economic development. We understand that this is a growing area. We want to make sure that we grow smartly with the growth that's happening out there and really encourage that economic development as well. We want to incorporate public and stakeholder input. We're doing that tonight. We greatly appreciate everyone for being here. And we want to make sure that the public has the opportunities throughout this study to go ahead and give their input on, wherever we are in the study. We value every piece of input that we do get. And then last, but definitely not least, we want to accommodate all modes of travel. A lot of times we get caught up in talking about vehicular travel, but we want to make sure we take into account transit and bike ped and freight. Freight's a big deal right now. We want to make sure that goods can get through the area. And so, looking at all those modes of travel is definitely a big goal of this study.
Thanks, Mike. These last few slides are just showing you the 3 segments of the corridor study a little more in a little more detail. Feel free to refer back to them. Everything is also on the project website, so we encourage you to go there, us401corridorstudy.com. Thanks.